Namaste everybody and welcome to Round Glass. I'm Lama Yeshe Rabgye, live from India. I'm excited to be here, so thanks for joining me in this series called Relieving Anxiety During Stressful Times. In this session, we'll be meditating on analyzing anger. So many years ago, I was quite as a little boy, I was an angry person. I took after my mother. And actually, my mother was the one person who said to me, if you're going to be angry like this, you'll never have friends. And when I started meditating, it's at that point that I started to really work hard on my anger to make sure that I'll catch that anger before it takes over control of me. So the goal of today's practice is for us to be able to look at that anger, face the anger, and just try to find a way of dealing with it. So if you are a person who becomes angry easily, then this practice is for you, because hopefully by the end of it, you'll have some ideas about how you can deal with that anger. So the intention of the class today is for us to look at our anger. But there's some things we need to understand, first of all. To be able to let that anger go, first of all, we have to let it in. We can not let go of anything until we've let it in. By that I mean we have to acknowledge it. We have to acknowledge that we have this anger. And also, another thing that we need to be looking at clearly is that all anger stems from fear. So maybe you're arguing with your partner, so it may be fear that you're losing your partner. Or you may be arguing at work and it's fear that that person knows more than you. Or your ego feels that it's being attacked and you have that fear of being attacked. So if we analyze our anger, it means that we can get into the deep root of what that fear is and how we can deal with it. So I see people sharing their intentions for doing this meditation today. So thank you for that. And some of the intentions are that they want to let go. We'll definitely be trying to do that. They want some clarity, some inner strength, patience, compassion, forgiveness, self-love, and confidence. So hopefully we'll be able to work with all of those. So if you have any questions come up during this practice, you can ask them in the chat, and I'll have opportunity at the end to get around and answer them for you. So what we're going to be doing in this practice is, first of all, we're going to be looking at situations and types of people that make us happy. So to be able to deal with anger, we have to do this practice when we're not feeling angry. Now, I know that you'll see a lot of videos and a lot of things written out there with this new modern mindfulness where they say when you're angry, then just breathe. I don't know if you tried it, but it's an impossible thing to do. When we're right in the middle of anger, being controlled by anger, the last thing that we're able to do is just breathe. It doesn't happen. So the time to be looking at anger is when you're feeling more calm. So we're going to be looking at the triggers, what triggers our anger. Then we're going to be analyzing that anger. And then at the end, we're going to look at antidotes. So that's how this practice is going to go. So as always, I want you to just relax. The more relaxed you are in any meditation, the more benefit you get from that. So let's just get ourselves into a nice, relaxing posture. So if you're sitting on a chair, just make sure your feet are flat on the ground and a little bit apart so you're nice and stable. Whether you're on the floor or you're on a chair, put your back straight. Don't hold it rigid, just put it straight so you can breathe easily. And then drop those shoulders. As you drop the shoulders, you feel your body sink down into a great relaxed position. Your hands, just put them wherever they're going to be the most comfortable for you. So now just lightly close your eyes. And to begin with, I want to gently bring you into the present moment. So I want you to listen for any sounds that you can hear. So don't engage those sounds. Just allow them to float in and out of your consciousness. And now I want you to check in with this. Just see, are you holding any tension? Are there any aches and pains in the body? If there are, just on your out breath, just breathe them out and just relax that area. And then continue scanning down your bodies. And now check in with your thoughts. What is your thought process at the moment? Don't try to change this or criticize or even judge. I just want you to observe whatever your thought process is. So, whatever it is, just accept that. And now check in with your emotions. Again, just observe. So now let's begin the meditation practice. I want you to become aware of your breath flowing in and flowing out of your body. So don't change your breath here. Just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. And when your mind just starts to wander off, it's okay, it's natural, don't worry. And bring your mind back. Every time you find yourself thinking or distracted, just gently bring your mind back and start focusing on your breath again. So keep your awareness on your breath for another minute. But this time on your out breath, I want you to just breathe out any tension, any stress, anything that you feel is going to hold you back. Just breathe that out and relax. So let's begin the meditation on analyzing anger. We're going to start at looking at what triggers our anger. So first of all, I want you to just think about what situations usually trigger your anger. It may be home, maybe work. It quite possibly is when you're driving your car. So just think about the situations that tend to bring anger up in you. And now think about the type of people that usually bring anger up in you. Now here, don't pick on one person. We're looking at a type. So we're not looking at an individual person here. What type of person? Maybe it's a loud person, or a proud person, or a lazy person. Whatever it is, just think of the type of people that usually make you angry. So now I want you to pick one of those situations you thought about, and we're going to analyze it. So bring that situation into the front of your mind. And when you find yourself angry and in this situation, how does it make you feel? Think about that for a moment. And now think about the people you're being angry towards. How do you think they feel when you're angry at them? Think about that for a moment. And when you are angry, where do you hold that anger in your body? Just think about where you're holding the anger. Maybe it's in your shoulders, your stomach, maybe your jaw becomes tight. Where do you hold your anger? So, as you're thinking about this situation that has made you angry, I want you to look at what is the fear behind that anger. As I said at the beginning of this meditation, all anger is based in fear. So, can you find the fear behind your anger? Just think about it for a moment. So, now I want you to think about what antidote can you put in place for when you find yourself in this situation the next time. What we're doing here is we're planting a seed. We're trying to change our usual thought process. So, what antidote would you put in place? Maybe you'll just walk away or take some deep breaths, count to 10. Just think about what would your antidote be the next time you find yourself in this situation. So now I want you to go back and think of the people, the types of people that made you angry, and just pick one. And let's analyze that. It's usually easier when we pick a situation that has happened recently. So if there's a type of person that made you angry recently, then think about that. So let's analyze that type of person. How do you feel when you become angry at this type of person? Just check in with your feelings there. And how do you think that person feels when you become angry at them? Just imagine that for a moment. And again, checking with your body, where would you hold this anger? Is it the same as the anger you have for a certain situation? Or are you holding that anger in a different place? So now let's see if we can find the fear behind this anger. What is it about this type of person that makes you fearful and so angry? See if you can find that fear. And now think of an antidote, something that you can do next time you find yourself in front of that type of person that usually makes you angry. What would your antidote be? By thinking about an antidote, you're planting that seed. Now, before we finish the meditation, I don't want to leave you with angry thoughts in your mind. So now I want you to think of one thing you're grateful for that has happened to you today. Bring that into the front of your mind and just sit and think about that one thing that you're grateful for today. So now I want you to reflect back over this meditation practice. How has it made you feel? Did you manage to find the fear behind your anger? Did you manage to think of an antidote? Reflect on those points for a moment. Now just very slowly start to open your eyes and just sit there a moment, just gently bringing yourself back into your room. So I hope this was a good experience for you. I hope it gave you an idea of how we can look at our anger and analyze the anger when we're in a good mood, when we're in a calm place. So if you have any questions, if any questions came up during this practice, then please feel free to put them in the chat. So there was one question, what's the best way to extinguish angry thoughts when they appear in meditation or is the point to deal with them even when I don't want to? So if that angry thought came up in meditation, it's coming for a reason. You know, if you're sitting down to meditate and you're nice and calm and you're nice and relaxed, and then all of a sudden these angry thoughts came into your head, then look at them, analyze them. Why have they come? What are they trying to tell me? So when emotions and when thoughts come, they come for a reason. They're a process of the brain, and something has stimulated them. So even while you're sitting there in meditation, something has stimulated them and made them come. So don't ignore them. Don't try to suppress them. If they keep coming and they're angry thoughts, look at them and look at what are they trying to tell you. What do you need to do to be able to let them go? So there is another question. Should I be feeling more angry or less angry after today's practice? Well, I hope you're not feeling angry at all. As a new meditator, I'm not quite sure I did this right. I feel very aware of my anger and my fear. So it's not a point of trying to get yourself angry while you're doing the meditation. It's a point of trying to find what are your triggers. Because if we know our triggers, it's like having an early warning system. And then when we've found the triggers and we've analyzed, we know what it's like for us to be angry. We don't like it. We know what it's like for other people, and of course they don't like it. And we've tried to find the fear, because the fear is the root there. The anger is just like the tip of the iceberg. What is underneath that anger? That is what we need to be looking at. And then we set ourselves an antidote. So you shouldn't come out of this meditation feeling angry. You should come out thinking that, okay, now I understand my anger. Now I can deal with that anger. I have an antidote in place. So you shouldn't come out angry or happy. You should just come out knowing that, you know, this one part of anger I've managed to deal with. Another question is, I appreciated the antidote examples you gave. None came up for me, so maybe I'm built more for fighting than forgiving. I'll need to repeat this practice. How often can I do this meditation? So with this meditation, whenever you get the time to sit quietly, I wouldn't do it every day because, you know, then you're just focusing too much on the anger. But remember what I said at the beginning, to be able to let go, first of all, we have to let in, we have to accept. So I would say maybe once a week. It all depends if you're a really, really angry person, but I would say once a week would be enough. And if you have a real bad day and you're so angry, then maybe that's a good time. You know, it's fresh in your mind, so maybe that you can do it then. Another question is there a phrase or mantra to help me take this practice off the cushion into daily life? That's a great question, because sometimes when anger comes up, we need to be reciting something. For me, I recited patience. I just kept saying it to myself, patience, patience, patience. That worked for me. I wouldn't say there's a mantra or anything. I think these are better for you to think yourself, because whatever you decide, that's going to resonate with you. So pick a phrase that works for you and go with that. For me, it was patience, but for you, it can be whatever you like. It can be calm or breathe, whatever it is. Keep it simple so you can keep repeating it. Another question is, I want to work on identifying my fears and triggers for anger. What questions can help me analyze or reveal my fears? So I think the question is that we need to ask ourselves just a simple question of, what is the fear behind this anger? So maybe you've never thought of anger and fear together. Maybe you are thinking fear is one thing and anger is another. But try to picture an iceberg, and the very top of that iceberg is anger. But all the fears, all the things that are causing the anger are actually under the surface. So you need to picture your anger as an iceberg and then go deep and look what is under the water there, what is under the surface. And just a simple question, what am I fearing here? That's all we need to ask ourselves. Just keep, what am I fearing? That is the question you should ask. So RB commented, looking for the fear under the anger was a real eye opener for me. Yeah, and I think it is for most people because most people don't put those two together. So think of your iceberg. So thank you so much for all of those questions. I think it struck a lot of chords with people today. So thank you for joining me in this session, and I hope that you can join me again in another session, and go to round.glass or to the app and press follow me, and then you can go through this session again, or then you can see when other sessions are coming up. So thank you so much for joining me, and have a great week ahead. Namaste.